gosh, we're just so happy today that we've got a special guest with us. And she is literally a breath of sunshine everywhere that she goes. This is Maggie Jones. She works with the Andalusia Chamber of Commerce. And she and Chrissy Duffy do magic over there. I'd never seen, well, I think I had seen magic earlier in my life when I'd watch people go into a beauty parlor and look pretty scary and come out look like, you go back in there, where did this person come from? But those people over at the Andalusia Chamber of Commerce and your board do such a good job for Andalusia. I don't think a lot of people have an appreciation, for for how hard y'all work.
Thank you.
And
it is a nonstop.
It's
definitely nonstop for Chrissy and I both, and our board too.
Yeah, I mean, the board gives you an awful lot of their time, don't they?
They do, and the board is really involved with the community and involved in our mission and involved in the need and what the businesses need and what they want to see.
And I just think if you want to know where the creativity factor is for Andalusia,
it's Chrissy.
Go over it. Well, it's you and Christy. I've got to say, Christy is just one of the most outstanding people I've ever seen in my life, though, in terms of coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, there are no smoke and mirrors. This is the real creative thought at work.
Yeah, and it's scary sometimes, trying to bring new ideas, especially, to a small town that has great traditions. But new ideas help, bring new people to Andalusia or make our quality of life even better. And so it's great to think outside of the box and see, what our community is interested in and the types of things that we can offer and set some ideas out there.
Well, I think it's really important that most of us take everything for granted around us.
Yeah.
And unless you've lived a lot of other places and seen a little bit about what it's like in other towns larger and smaller than this, you don't realize that Andalusia offers a set of amenities.
It does.
Outsized to the size of the community itself. I mean, we were talking at Mayor Johnson when the baseball team came back from winning the state championship. And he says when he goes to these state meetings, everybody thinks Andalusia about 35,000, 45,000 people.
Wow.
And boy, what a great presence. But I mean, we do things that are novel. We've got a Chamber of Commerce that comes up with the #1 Christmas event in the state of Alabama. Folks, we made Southern living because of Chrissy Duffy and this wonderful young lady right here. And that brings us to a point about something, Maggie. We've got Christmas coming up again this year.
We do. We'll have another great Christmas in Candyland, and that's the whole month long of December. So we'll be updating y'all. We like to always add a new and exciting thing, and we've got plenty as it is. It's literally a winter wonderland in downtown Andalusia, and we hope that even more people will come and visit us this December. But we'll keep you posted. We've got a great website, christmasincandyland.com, and a very interactive Facebook page. So hopefully people will stay up to date on that. We'll kick off the Christmas season. Actually, I know it's a little soon, but it'll be here before we know it. And we'll have our annual Christmas parade on November the 29th. And so we are actually currently looking for themes. Last year, what I did was put a post out on Facebook, and we got a lot of feedback, and some top ideas were something around like the movie genre, and then it just kind of spiraled from there where people commented, and it turned into the great silver screen Christmas theme that we had. And so I think a lot of the businesses,
the parade was great, and,
I mean, it was insane what a large parade it was. It even sprinkled a little and kind of rained, and people were still.
It was cool.
It was
sprinkled, and we had a great crowd downtown.
It's a rain or shine event. It's kind of hard to schedule a whole nother parade and line up that many people again.
Absolutely.
But it was a great turnout, and I know it's early comparatively to past Christmas parades and stuff, but we've got so much going on during the whole month of Christmas, it just kind of kicks off the season.
Right.
And so if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, I made a post on the Andalusia Area Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and then anybody can, shoot me an email or call us and let me know if you have any good ideas.
Right.
But something that, larger businesses and then your small businesses, and then obviously we have a lot of churches, a lot of schools, a lot of
fire
clubs.
departments from every community.
Yes, I love, it really is kind of like a county, parade.
Right.
People come from all over and, really enjoy it. So I hope we can make it just as big,
Right.
and a great theme would help a lot. I just want to do get some ideas out there because there's
Right.
been so much done. We've had so many themes, and something that I think next year, I think we're going to do more about the bicentennial, because it'll be
Right.
the year of Alabama's
Right.
bicentennial, and they'll kind of celebrate it, but that's next year.
Right.
So I've kind of got an idea for next year, but
Right. Well, I think that what's the old saying, that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, and there are communities around here that are imitating some of what y'all created here in Andalusia. Now, I think you kind of have to laugh about that. So, this is you may be able to imitate it, but there's an old song from the '60s. I'm in with the in crowd, and it says, all folks try to imitate us, but you'll never get it because we're the greatest. And that's kind of what y'all are.
A lot of hard work
Yeah.
goes into Candyland, especially, our city does a tremendous job. There's so much to be done for that event, and and it all, you're exhausted, we work out there all day long, but then when you see the snow and the children just smiling and playing in it, I never realized how magical that could feel.
Yeah.
And also just the pure just community civic mindedness, and just the coming together, because the businesses are involved and they've worked so hard building their cottages, and then the children come out, and then the people getting pictures, and Santa being able to visit. When I
Right.
was growing up, we would have to go out of town to
Yeah,
see Santa.
right.
And so now I can't believe we're talking about it, and what is it, today's June?
Yeah,
I can't believe
it's
it.
only 6 months.
It'll just be here before you know it, and it's just it's a huge event that takes a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, well, but Santa's got him a shed, He's got him a place to stay.
Yeah,
And it's Andalusia.
It is.
Now, do y'all know how many people roughly this brings from out of town? Because
We did a little bit of some data research on it to kind of get an idea, and if you count the amount of adults, I assume you have to add at least a child or two for that.
if it's a family event, and Christmas generally is a family event,
Yeah.
you should be able to assume that for every adult, there's 1.13 child.
Yeah. I did a lot of, I did some coupons through through the Groupon and stuff like that. And so, we had people from all over. People from Birmingham were coming, Dothan and Pensacola. And
I had some people from Australia here.
Yeah, it was just fascinating.
And they came for that.
We'll say that.
Well, that's what the guy told me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I could put that on the website.
Right. Well, folks, we're going to break for a minute. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to our special interview session with sunshine and glitter and all things wonderful today with Maggie Jones from the Andalusia Chamber of Commerce. We were talking about, Andalusia's, I guess, big event of the year, which is Christmas. What a way to let the year go out is with Candyland and Andyland.
Yes.
And of course, then we're going to have next year, we're actually going to have a domino drop.
Yes, they've got that scheduled, and I think they're going to do it on, what is it, Greenwich time?
Yeah, Greenwich time, not on local time.
Sometime a little sooner, so that way people can come out and be, more of a family-friendly event downtown.
But, we were talking about the numbers. I think I've been saying 50,000 for a couple of years, and actually your numbers, which are conservative, it's all a crapshoot.
There's no telling.
But that's good for business.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. They have that kind of, they're all going to buy Cokes and most of them are going to eat a meal or two, and some of them are going to find a place to plunder and buy some, clothing or something at. It's one of those things where you sit here and think, gosh, I wish the square was a little further along, but with its gentrification. But
Yeah.
I think the big plan for the square is an excellent plan, to turn it into kind of an entertainment district and have shops and that kind of stuff. Maybe kind of like Opelika is what it.
The square is just when you have, like, for example, we do a Meredith Miracles Cocoa and Characters Day.
Right.
And so we originally had that on the square on that, like, one Saturday in December, and last year we had to change it to do the Springdale area because we were standing out there one day and we had completely outgrown the square with the amount of people and children and characters and just the environment. We just outgrew it, so we had to spread it out, and it worked really well at Springdale, thankfully. But it's a great correlation between the downtown and pushes you further down East 3 Notch. And so
and I think that's
lovely
what
to just stand, at the back and just look at all of it with busy people and going back and forth and the snow and the tree, and it's just magical.
How wonderful it could be if we could get all the merchants to kind of dress up in the front of their stores as we go that way, and then as we expand in other areas, because I think they're proving that downtown areas are viable business areas anymore. It was but everybody, it was kind of like you had to go out and try a little bit of peanut butter before you come back and have the steak downtown. But y'all do it. I'm prejudiced, but I think they do a really fine job there.
Thank you.
Y'all got a busy summer planned?
Yes, we do.
Can you talk to that for a minute?
Yes. We'll have our, I think it's our 4th annual. I don't know if it's becoming, I think it's our 4th July Jams. And so July Jams is a summer concert series that we do, that we host every Thursday evening on the lawn at Springdale, right next to City Hall. We set up a stage, and we have it's family friendly, fun, free event where you can come and bring your children, and we have a foam frenzy that the kids play in, and it's completely free. Just come, bring your lawn chair, blanket, whatever. This year we're adding even a large tent to go at the very top area on the concrete paved patio, and we're going to have chairs set up and some cooling fans.
Oh, wow.
So that way there'll be kind of a shadier viewing area. We open the gates at 5:30 for people if they want to start coming, but we'll start the opener at 6 o'clock. And we've got some great headliners. It's every Thursday night, and we've got some great bands.
Again. Yeah, it sounds like that, that you've expanded the musical genre a little bit this year, too.
Yeah, we try to do each Thursday something a little different. And we'll also have our normal fireworks show to close it out, and all of that. We'll have, starting on, I just want to make sure I get them all right.
Yeah.
July the 5th is when we'll kick it off. So I hope everybody's, back from their 4th of July plans, and it'll be a really well-attended event. It's the Willie Sugar Caps band, and so they
they've got a lot of really fine players in this
really
group.
Do.
These are studio players.
They
a lot
are.
of them.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort of Grayson Capps, and he's from Bruton, Alabama. Will Kimbrough, Sugarcane Jane, and Corky Hughes. So they come from the Songwriters Festival. Chrissy went to that and found them, and so they've got a great, combination of the genres and the music, and they're just amazing. I can't wait to hear them live. I've seen lots of videos, and we have a great website, julyjams.com with a Z, jams with a Z, and so that has been a great resource to have it linked up where you can check them out, and we have none of this would be possible without obviously the support of the city and the use of the beautiful grounds at Springdale, because we do like an amphitheater style, but also all of our sponsors. So we've got sponsors, all the businesses and organizations in the area that love to see this event go on every summer. I'll have people come to me the month after July and be like, what am I going to do this Thursday?
Right.
Because they don't have anything, it's still not quite, school hadn't started back yet. And so they just love it. I think people wish it could be every Thursday. It's just, you can't beat it.
Well, the funny thing about Andalusia is you hear people say there's nothing to do with Andalusia.
No, there's so much. I've got a list them all
absolutely.
along.
I mean, I don't know. You're waking up too late in the day or something. Because,
right. If you don't think that something's going on or you're looking for something to do, I have a great newsletter that goes out every week. And then sometimes, if I've already shared some information, I won't bother your email with it or whatever, but I do, I send out information about, different classes that we have, but then on top of that, all of the events that are going on in the community, the businesses or the organizations or churches or whatever will send me their events, and I'm able to put it in a newsletter that just goes out.
Right.
So you just scroll through, find what you're interested in, and
that's just on your website.
Yeah,
too,
you just can subscribe through the website. Is a great resource as
Yeah,
far
it
as
really is.
all the events that are going on.
And I don't think people
Easy to
even
find.
think about going there, but I go there to find news about what we're going to do here frequently.
Yeah. I have people who call and they'll say, okay, what's going on this weekend? And I'll just read through everything we have going on. We try to keep all the other events going on in the community on our Facebook page as well. We have a list of those. So.
Yeah. Now, folks, I'm going to shill something for a minute. There are a lot of people that there are a number of businesses that support an awful lot of the events that the Chamber of Commerce and the city put together jointly. That they contribute money, but the Chamber of Commerce is not just something for big business people. I would encourage you to do what I have, and that's that. I have a private membership for my wife and I, and it's a great thing. If you've got time on your hands, they've got some programs that they can help you volunteer for. Or they've got educationals. You've got some seminars coming up pretty quickly that you don't have to, just because you've retired or something like maybe I've done.
You're still maybe interested in
you may be interested
software.
in something like that. Yeah, learning is, they say that learning is the secret to longevity. If you never quit learning, that you're probably going to live longer, and that's very important. But the membership for a person is $50 a year.
Yes, sir.
And folks, that's $4.25 a month.
Well, that way you'll get an invitation to all of our events and activities, and you're obviously to come to all of that events. And like you said, so we have all these kinds of seminars too. We've got 2 coming up just this month. One with QuickBooks software and so accounting software, and it's a very interactive course. We've got a great partnership with the Troy University Small Business Development Center, and so they do an awesome job of getting real well-educated and great teachers. And this guy happens to be Mr. Harry. He's an amazing accountant, and he's done this for years. And so he will sit down one-on-one with you and see how you're classifying things and the proper way to use the software. And on top of that, you get an extra free 2 hours with him too, personally at your place of work or at your house or whatever, to go over your software. And then we also have another course coming up at the end of June, the Lunch and Learn that PR Employer is sponsoring, and they're a chamber member, but they also have great resources as far as human resources and employee management, and that's what they'll be doing a course on, is the effective human capital management.
And that's one of the most difficult.
I know, it's so hard to explain how important it is.
Managing your human capital, your internal customers.
Right.
There's great liability there if you don't do it right, but that's not the reason you want to do it.
What's the skill?
The compliance with the government regulations the skill that you can develop in communicating with people to keep things, so that they do understand what the main thing really
Laws
is.
And regulations plus.
And that's just, that's a tremendously important thing. And a lot of people really, whether they choose to lease employees or not, they need to be aware of that. It'll make them better managers.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that's for $4.25 a month.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that course is completely free.
Right.
The PR employer is sponsoring that, so I'll serve everybody lunch. It'll start at 11:30.
So $4.25, you get 2 courses and 1 lunch.
For just this month.
and then they have the breakfast.
Our lovely chamber breakfast.
Chamber
and
breakfast.
We'll have another one of those this month too. So that PR employer class is June 21st. And then our breakfast, we do it every month, usually like the last Wednesday of the month. If there's 5 Wednesdays, I'll just let the sponsor choose. The last one we just had was Day Spring Hospice, and we hosted that at the chamber. But then if a business wants to host a breakfast, but they have a location already, such as this upcoming month is going to be at the hospital. They've got a great staff of awesome, cooks, and so they always have an amazing breakfast. And I've
had some pretty amazing breakfast over at the chamber building.
Yeah, but Mr. John Yanes will do an awesome presentation about all the things that are going on at the hospital, and on top of that, the hospital's impact on our community and everything that they have going on, as well as a great breakfast. And so that's going to be on that Wednesday, June 27th, and that'll be at the hospital. Something a little different, but kind of get us out to the hospital and enjoying that delicious food as well.
Well, what other events have you got later?
so much going on. We do have in the month of July, and so it's already June. In July, we'll have our World Championship Domino Tournament.
Woo! Who could forget that?
I'm not in the a Rotarian or anything. You might need to get somebody from there to come speak about it, but we will. They do an awesome job, and
I was on the original committee.
You were, yeah. You got some great history about it.
Yeah,
so that would be fun. That would be fun to hear from somebody.
That was Charles Tomlinson was a mover behind that, but Mr. Albritton and Mr. Wilder did such a good job of making sure that the trademarks and all that kind of stuff were
taken care
of. That's really, there's a lot of work there.
Just letting people know it's July the 13th and the 14th, and so it's always that second weekend in July.
Right.
And so it sneaks up on us too. It's already summertime, but that's something that anybody can come out and enjoy.
Event.
It's a big event. They're selling tickets for the raffle, and then on top of it, they've got a great website too. I think it's just the World Championship Domino.com, and they've got a really great website where you can sign up, look at pictures, see the prizes, and that sort of thing.
Well, Maggie, we're gonna have to pull the plug on this thing. I could sit here and talk with you forever, and
great.
And it would be wonderful for me, but it'd get you in trouble. Because I know you've got other places to go and other people to do and other things to do. But I want to thank you for coming in here. And I want to invite you, if you feel like it, at least monthly, but if you can come in here on a weekly basis even. I think Andalusia needs a little cheerleading sometimes, and you've got it. You and Chrissy can, you bring the right combination of high energy and high intellect and drive, and it's just a great thing.
Thank you.
And
we'll see if they enjoy watching it.
Oh, well, I can promise you, I'll have people by tomorrow night that'll stop me and will tell me that they have seen this and that was just great, enjoyed it. I learned
Word
so
of mouth
much.
Is the best.
I learned. We were at the buckboard. We had a lady that came up to us. Jared will validate this. Waited on us. Our table, cleaned it off, and she came up and says, "I watch y'all every day."
She's so sweet.
And she says, "I'm not from here, but this is where I've learned about the local news from you." Same with you.
Thank
Just
you.
really important.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, folks, we're going to leave you hanging on for another spine-tingling episode of As the Chamber Turns. We'll be back later with our lovely heroine, Maggie Jones.